At the same time, there is a humorous incident in which a Ukrainian minister, or a spokesperson for the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, is an American transgender woman, Sarah Ashton-Cirillo, who has been making incendiary videos now, basically since the beginning of the war, that have been going very viral. Now, recently, one of these videos that she had put out effectively advocated for assassination of anybody who goes against any of the Ukraine consensus, not just in Ukraine, but actually here in the United States. Just take a listen to that flavor and we'll tell you what happened to her.
Russia hates the truth that their obsessive focus on a Ukrainian volunteer is simply allowing the light of the Ukrainian nation's honesty to shine brightly. Next week, the teeth of the Russian devils will gnash ever harder, and their rabid mouths will foam in uncontrollable frenzy as the world will see a favorite Kremlin propagandist pay for their crimes. And this puppet of Putin is only the first. Russia's war criminal propagandists will all be hunted down, and justice will be served as we in Ukraine are led on this mission by faith in God, liberty, and complete liberation. This is Sergeant Sarah Ashton-Cirillo of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and I'd like to thank the X social media platform for carrying this exclusive message from Kyiv. There has been much discussion recently related to my role within the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Before answering some of the questions put forward by Senator Vance of Ohio, I'd like to thank all those in the US who are supporting the Ukrainian people. Without Republicans and Democrats working together on behalf of Ukraine, our growing and unstoppable success on the battlefield and the inevitable victory it will bring over the Russian invaders would take significantly longer. America is once more showing why it's history's greatest republic and the world's lone superpower. And all of us in Ukraine are humbled by the support we're receiving from the American people. Let me also take a moment in my role as spokesperson for the AFU's Territorial Defense Forces to state unequivocally that we in the TDF and across Ukraine believe journalists are heroes and have the right to report on Ukraine's war for liberation without interference. Free speech is the pillar of all democracy. The First Amendment of the US Constitution, along with the rest of that sacred document, is ordained by God.
So, Krystal, the Defense Forces of Ukraine, let's put this up there on the screen, have now announced Junior Sergeant Sarah Ashton-Cirillo has been suspended from the duties of the spokesperson of the Territorial Defense Forces of Ukraine while an investigation is now underway. In further statement, they said from the armed forces that the statements of Sergeant Cirillo in recent days were not approved by command of the TDF or the command of the AFU. While conducting military operations against the aggressor, the Defense Forces of Ukraine strictly observe the norms of international humanitarian law. The command of TDF will conduct an official investigation into the circumstances of these statements. Appropriate decisions will then be taken. She will be suspended immediately pending the investigation. So there was the only reason that this even came to light is because of that video where she was basically, we're going to hunt down and kill anybody who doesn't agree with us. Senator Vance put out a letter being like, hold on, are we funding this person's salary? Like, who is this person? And then from that, the Ukrainians apparently took notice of what look, undeniably, she's become a hero amongst a lot of the Ukraine flag and bio people. She actually just got an award in Las Vegas for like from the city for being like a heroic American. It's just an example of like this unhinged behavior by some of the people who are aligned with this cause and that we're being directly, in many respects, like propped up not only by the U.S. government, by a lot of people here who just love these types of statements. But, you know, ironically, it came to bite them because they're like, hold on a second, this is creating problems for us in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zelensky choosing to investigate this person and fire her effectively, it's part of the charm offensive before he came to Washington. I mean, they cleaned out a bunch of the like defense cabinet ministers in an attempt to also show a series about corruption. So I don't really read into it anything more than that.
I think you're right. I think it's what they were like, oh my gosh, this could be causing problems for us. They probably.
I mean, they got a senator who's sending him messages about it. What are they? You know, they're like, all right, fine, goodbye. We'll launch an investigation. This is not worth the headache.
This is not worth the headache to put out this type of stuff. But you know, it does just give you an example of how some of their rhetoric, as we talked about with Let Our Block, about the regime change and about, is actually starting to invite some pushback in Washington. Probably not enough in order to do anything about actual funding, but this is just one of the latest examples. So wanted to give you guys that update. I thought it was funny.
Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.